Hello?
Hi, Bess. It's Nancy.
Nancy, it's about time. How's St. Louis?
Something terrible has happened. Maya went to Brady's dressing room to interview him. I guess he wasn't there. She screamed, and now she's gone. I think she's been kidnapped.
Oh my gosh. Why would anyone want to kidnap Maya?
I received a threatening phone call. Somebody wants desperately to stop this demolition, and they're holding Maya as a bargaining tool.
That's terrible. Have you called the police?
I called all right, but get this. According to standard procedure, they can't get involved until Maya has been missing for 24 hours.
Hello?
Hi, Bess. It's Nancy.
Nancy, it's about time. How's St. Louis?
Something terrible has happened. Maya went to Brady's dressing room to interview him. I guess he wasn't there. She screamed, and now she's gone. I think she's been kidnapped.
Oh my gosh. Why would anyone want to kidnap Maya?
I received a threatening phone call. Somebody wants desperately to stop this demolition, and they're holding Maya as a bargaining tool.
That's terrible. Have you called the police?
Not yet. I guess I've been a little stunned.
Hello?
Bess?
What did the police say?
According to standard procedure, they can't get involved until Maya has been missing for 24 hours.
Hello?
It's me again.
Hi, Nancy. Any developments? Hello?
It's me again.
Hi, Nancy. I've got George here, too. Bess filled me in, Nancy. Any developments?
I'm just searching the theater, questioning suspects.
And? Hello?
Bess?
And George, too. What's new, Nancy?
Hello?
Hello?
I got it, George.
Is it Nancy?
I don't know yet. I'm busy talking to you. Will you hang up?
It's Nancy, all right.
I knew it.
Hey, you two.
I don't know, Bess. She sounds a little down in the dumps, doesn't she?
She sure does. What's going on, Nancy?
I just can't believe it. The evidence I found yesterday, the pizza boxes and Maya's shoe. When the police finally came to investigate, it was gone.
Hi, you've reached Bess Marvin's room. I'm either busy online or else I've stepped away from my post. Call me later. Well, snap out of it, Nancy. Calling the police is a no-brainer.
I know.
What could possibly be standard about a girl getting kidnapped?
They're not convinced it's a kidnapping.
Well, how did she disappear then? Poof? Alakazam?
Sergeant Ramsey says it could be a prank, or Maya might have just taken off or something.
Sergeant Ramsey obviously doesn't know Wash U's most dedicated reporter.
It's true. The only way she would have abandoned this story is if someone dragged her away from it.
Do Maya's parents know?
They always travel this time of year, remember? And besides, I've got to find Maya before this demolition. I doubt her parents could get back from the other side of the world before then anyway.
What a mess.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been so personally attached to a case.
Call me back when you know more. I'll get a hold of George and Ned and let them know what's going on. Poor Maya. I guess the only consolation is that she's got you on the rescue mission.
What? You're kidding.
And now the police really think I'm losing my marbles.
Joseph. He's the only one who knew about your discovery, isn't he?
Yeah, he said he'd show the police where to go. And wait a second. When I came up from the basement, I bumped into Brady wandering around backstage.
Interesting.
Yeah, he seemed surprised to see me.
What did you tell him?
I guess I did let on that I'd found some evidence.
Gee, Nancy. If you wanted the whole world to know, why didn't you just broadcast it on national television?
Please, George, I feel bad enough. Now it's the day of the demolition and I'm still clueless.
That's not true, Nancy. You've made significant progress.
Maybe you should focus on trying to stop the demolition. Aren't you expecting a package?
Indeed I am. If Sherman Trout really is a man of his word, that is.
She sounds better already, huh, George?
She's lucky we don't charge her for these calls. The detective support hotline could get awfully expensive.
A fresh start. Good for him.
Yeah, except that I found a letter that says his brother has been dead for years.
Why would he lie? What do you think he's hiding?
Give the guy a break. Maybe he just wants to hide the fact that his life is going to be empty without that theater to look after. He sounds like a big help.
Yes, but the woman on the phone said that the blueprints are missing.
Official records? Missing?
She said that a man was in last week looking at them, but they haven't been seen since.
The kidnapper?
Or a certain smoldering sidekick?
Well, whoever it was, they must have taken the blueprints with them. How How on earth am I going to find all the secret rooms and passages in this place now?
I'm not worried, Nancy.
Me neither.
You could probably find a secret passage in a paper bag.
Are you kidding, George? Nancy could find a secret passage in a blueberry muffin. You don't think Maya could be mixed up with him somehow, do you?
No way. Maya expresses her politics by writing about them. You know, the pen is mightier than the sword. She and Nicholas Falcone don't even speak the same language.
I think you're right, George. But Sergeant Ramsey said I wouldn't have any credit with the police if I joined forces with Nicholas.
Who said anything about joining forces? After all, he's still a prime suspect. But that doesn't mean he's not a valuable source of information when it comes to the theater.
She's right, Nancy. As long as he continues to shoot off his mouth, you want to be around to take notes.
You know what they say? There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Even for a kidnapping?
It's like Hollywood has taken over her brain. I'm practically in tears over Maya, and she's trying to dream up a stage name for me.
A stage name?
Not just any stage name either. Would you believe Fancy Jackson?
Ooh, Nancy, that's kind of disco.
I bet she could pull it off.
This is serious, you guys. Do you really think she would kidnap Maya just so Brady could pretend to save her?
In her line of work, Nancy?
Anything's possible.
Bess, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Here's what I'm thinking. When has the lack of an invitation ever stopped Nancy Drew before? Is that what you're thinking?
Bingo!
So you think I should just barge right in?
Better yet, why not just listen in? That way you know things that Simone and the others don't know you know. You know?
Bess has a few rocks in her mouth. But she's right. And besides, there's another good reason to keep a low profile.
I know what you're thinking, George. When the cats are away,
the detective mouse will snoop.
Ah, you have a point there, ladies. This might be my only chance to get some,
insight?
Yes, some insight into the lives of my suspects. Good idea.
We're full of them. Right, Bess?
Chock full. Bursting at the seams. We're practically ideaphoric. Well, wholesome makes me think of apple pie.
And to smolder, according to my trusty dictionary, is to burn slowly from the inside, without flame.
So, he's a sweetie pie on the outside, but too hot to touch.
Oh, did you have to bring this up with Bess here, Nancy?
It seems like the two things don't go together. One is safe, the other is dangerous.
Interesting. Maybe that's Brady's whole dilemma. He doesn't know whether he's a good guy or a bad guy.
Which is exactly why he can't be trusted. What?
Isn't that creepy?
You don't know who it was from?
It was from the kidnapper, I assume. The note said something like, wouldn't you rather stop the demolition than plan a funeral?
Since when do kidnappers have the time to special order flower arrangements?
Apparently this kidnapper isn't afraid of the limelight.
Look at the bright side, Nancy. If you find out who sent that wreath, your case is as good as closed.
What's the deal with had it?
Nicholas says he's sworn to slay the dragon of corporate generica.
All in favor of men who slay dragons, say aye.
Honestly, Bess, what are we going to do with you? Nancy, what in the world is generica?
I think it's a term for what this country would be like if suddenly it all looked the same.
Oh, you mean if it became generic, like a bar of soap that's just called soap?
Right. Haddett believes that protecting historical buildings is key to preserving our national character.
That sounds noble.
Yeah, except he practically jumped for joy when I told him the kidnapper's motive is to save the theater.
Uh-oh. Sounds like you better keep an eye on him, Nancy.
That's terrible.
I can see why he's so dedicated to saving the theater, then.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more about this J.J. Thompson.
Maybe you can help Nicholas get his grandmother the credit she deserved.
I told him I'd keep my eye out for anything that would prove her connection to this place.
I wonder if J.J. left any of his personal effects behind.
If he did, I'm sure they're gone now. His kids must have cleared the place out when they remodeled in 1956, a few years after he died. That's when it became a movie theater.
You never know, Nancy. If there's one thing your detective work proves every time, it's that old buildings are the keepers of old secrets.
Let's just hope this building lives long enough to tell.
Cool. Like pulling a rabbit out of a hat?
Like sawing my cousin Bess in half?
Nothing quite that sensational, ladies. But I did learn how to use a pencil to reveal a secret message.
Ooh, that could come in handy.
How does it work?
Well, if someone writes something, let's say it's a secret code, on a piece of paper, and they press hard with a pen, it will make an impression on a blank piece of paper underneath.
Yeah?
Then the magician applies a pencil to the seemingly blank piece of paper. With careful shading, the pencil will reveal the shapes of the numbers or letters in the code. Presto! Do you see?
That's pretty cool.
I can only imagine what would happen if we applied the pencil to Bess. Just think of all the secret codes that would be revealed. Like Jacques, Rick, Brady.
Oh, George, I'm not as impressionable as you think. Go Sherman!
But suppose he does find something. What good will the document do you in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, he said he'll send it to me on a slide.
But how are you going to decipher the writing on a tiny frame of film?
It's a movie theater, remember, Bess? One of those places where they project small images onto a big screen?
Oh, yeah.
Except the projector is broken.
Broken?
I think the bulb blew when I was using it earlier.
Sounds like you need to give yourself a crash course in projector repair. Another phone call? What was the threat?
This one came over the PA. Apparently, searching for Maya is a waste of time and I should focus on stopping the demolition, or else.
Well, Nancy, this kidnapper may have learned your name, but obviously they haven't figured out the first thing about who they're dealing with.
I just wish I could see the look on the kidnapper's face when you crack this case wide open.
They don't call us your trusty sidekicks for nothing.
Sure, Nancy, but don't expect us to give you the answers on a silver platter.
We wouldn't want to spoil your fun.
Seeing as how you're a senior detective and all.
Check out Nicholas's political pamphlets. Maybe something there will give you a lead.
Get to know your suspects.
See if they've got credible alibis.
I bet the key to that drawer in the men's dressing room is long gone.
You'll just have to find something to jimmy the lock with. Sounds like there's more to the architecture of that theater than meets the eye.
You'd better figure out how you're going to get the lay of the land.
Maybe. You can get some inspiration from that stage technician's guide.
Think of it as an insurance policy.
Right. If you don't solve this case, you'll be well on your way to a backup career.
If you study up on J.J. Thompson and the history of the theater, you'll probably begin to get some insight into how the place was built.
Focus your efforts on getting into the basement. That crate is blocking the door to the basement.
You're gonna have to figure out how to hoist it out of the way.
Apparently, sound effects will help. See if Nicholas has had any success with his research.
There must be some important evidence tucked away somewhere in that basement.
See if there are any secret compartments down there. The picture on that box needs unscrambling. The missing parts for that box must be in the theater somewhere. You'll need a magic grabber to reach that coin.
See what you can put together. Check out that old Beat the Magician game down in the basement. Getting the first coin was a stretch.
Getting the second coin will be more of a dance.
George, would that be the two-step or the tango?
Gee, Bess, I guess she's lost interest in that box.
Seems that way, George. Maybe the basement stairs have tuckered her out.
Don't you want to find out how the police investigation went last night? Don't you have some discoveries to report?
We shouldn't keep Nancy.
Not when she's just been paged.
Isn't it about time to put your suspects through another round of questioning? Don't you have some evidence to report?
So many new developments, Nancy. You must have a lot of questions.
Don't let us hold you up. Gee, Nancy. Seems like the next step is right in front of your nose.
This is the 11th hour, Nancy. Keep your wits about you.
Saving Maya is the only thing that matters.
Better get that projector running.
It's now or never.
How about a little eavesdropping?
That's the type of thing detectives do best, isn't it, George? How about a little snooping?
Detectives are great at that too, Bess. Good luck.
Be careful.
Good luck.
Be careful.
Watch out for weird people. Keep up the good work, detective.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I don't know.
Me neither. I'm at a loss for words.
Think of it as a blessing in disguise, Nance. I'm stumped.
Ditto.
You don't need us for this one.
Definitely not.
Seems pretty obvious, Nance.
We don't want to spoil your fun.
Sorry, Nance. We're fresh out of ideas.
Nothing that a few cookies won't fix, though. Call back soon.